Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying
that's
horrors,
right.
and ultimately...
My fighting got increased.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Roleplay Give. We are playing Call of Cthulhu tonight, and I mean, I'd call it a classic. I'm just not sure it really is at this point, but I know it's very large. We're playing the very large Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign setting, and we have, I would say, Well, I mean, we did investigator development at the end of the last game, so I'm gonna say we're done with Egypt. Uh, but they haven't quite exited Egypt yet. And so I believe I mean, I'm not going to do a lengthy intro here. I'm just going to say I think we're picking up with you guys having met with the Dutchman, Van Hoevelen, who is heading home, and you've loaded him up with dangerous contraband. And but you did purchase his fare on a steamer ship to go back to.
We gave him a car.
Oh, you gave him the car too, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, And so he is happy as a clam, but he is carrying um, objects and things that are very much wanted by very dangerous
As
people.
long as he lives, he'll be a happy man.
Yes. Uh, that's his fate, but your fate, the fate of the four of you, is that you are carrying about several body parts and at least one canopic jar of the Egyptian queen Nitocris, who in this mythos is consort to the Black Pharaoh Nyarlathotep, uh, who was prophesied to be resurrected and to rule at Nyarlathotep's side. And as such, you had found out that cultists were planning to bring that about and had assembled all of the necessary items to do that but one. And while they were looking for you one place, you guys snuck back in, cut up her body part with a blessed knife, and stole all of the items they needed that they already had to bring her back to life, and successfully snuck back out again. It was a little touch and go there. Uh, had a couple of brief melee encounters, but you are now out, and I believe we said you are in the city, right? Like you had met up with Van Hoevelen in the city. Is that correct? Of Cairo, I guess.
We had met with Van Hoevelen, and God, I don't remember if that was specifically in the city or on. I feel like maybe on the outskirts. He went and got us a car
Right.
and met us, and then we told him, "Hey, keep the car and take this thing and go, build your career out of it."
And he Thelma and Louised right out of there.
Yep.
And I mean, not off a cliff, but like, yeehaw!
Well,
And when,
He's
metaphorically
going
off
to
a cliff.
Jerusalem.
yeah, probably he is. I mean, eventually that's that dude's fate. But, uh, so you guys are on the outskirts of Cairo and are trying to figure out how to get out, knowing that you have one ancient Egyptian antiquity that the Egyptians are very much concerned, having recently won their independence, have been plundered by colonists, or not colonists,
Colonizers.
colonizers, for centuries, and so are cracking down. And you have to get this evil thing out. You also have a cut up mummy.
Some of
it.
a sizable percentage of.
Yes, I think we agreed it was roughly a quarter plus the canopic jars. So
It's 35% good.
yeah, 35% good. So, um, and you were plotting your escape, and I think that's where we're just gonna pick up. We had some things at the end of the latest episode, and then some information came to light, and so we're gonna just pick up, retconning back to you've just sent Van Hoevelen off. What are you guys gonna do? It's morning.
Right. Well, I'm certainly open to ideas.
Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to find prettiest accent. Um, I mean, if we want to get out of here fast, and somewhat quiet, I'm thinking we head over to the coast and then maybe we just buy it, pay some fishermen, slowly move us down the coast until we can get on a bigger ship and try to. I'm sure those federales don't want to see what's in our bags.
I think that's accurate. We will struggle with communicating with the fishermen.
I can communicate with anyone. I'll give me like 5 minutes, and I'll get some bottles, and we'll be fine.
The only question I have is, are we going to investigate the bent pyramid before we leave, or are we getting out of this area as quickly as possible?
I think that we should get out of the area. I think that we have done the damage that we can do to their plans, and we've also painted enormous targets on ourselves, and we should move those targets out of this area.
All right.
The only if you think that's important, then one thing we could do is two of us could do my plan, go to the coast, head down the river, or head down wherever, and the rest of you could just travel normally, right? Like if you don't have the stuff on you, it's not a problem to get. Hopefully, it's not a problem to get out of here. So if someone wanted to investigate the pyramid, we could always split up and then just meet in. Where are we going again? Kenya?
I think that was yes.
No.
And the reason ostensibly given was that's where the Carlisle expedition went next. And then once we figure out how you guys are traveling, I'll have more for you.
That's also where they disappeared, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Where they were reported murdered by their bearers, by the people carrying their traveling equipment. But which Jackson Elias, you read, had reason to believe this was not so. So I am looking for a fuller map of Egypt circa 1925.
I know that's a bit of an extreme to separate us that much, but
yes, I don't know how important the information at the bent pyramid would be, but it is a little scary thinking of just a couple of us going in and facing whatever might be there.
I don't recall what was suggested to be there, and what. And right now, I'm rather terrified of our situation, and think that we should not be here.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
Any thoughts, Clyde? Do you want to chime in at all, or?
I am absolutely lost, and I really don't know what to think in any circumstance, because pretty much everything was said that I was probably going to say.
All right, just didn't want to, make a big decision without at least asking.
All right, so if I'm understanding the plan, if you stick together, the plan is to head to the east towards, as I'm looking at a map here, the Gulf of Suez, which would take you to the Red Sea, which, man, this is not like a D&D game where I can just make shit up, like
Egypt does exist.
There's a big hill and a coast. All right, which way you guys want to go, north or south? Map of Egypt. I just want to see. I want to see how this would work. All right, so. Oh, man, that is way farther south than I thought it was. Yeah, I can see that taking 6 months by riverboat.
Wow. Africa's a very big place.
It's very, very, very big.
Very big. And Egypt and Sudan, I think you get almost to the halfway point.
You get out. You definitely get out of the Sahara. You go sub-Saharan, obviously. So yeah. So what you would be doing is picking up some sort of. I think what I was picking up was Purdy was advocating for alternative transport, i.e., anybody willing to take on passengers, kind of thing. Uh,
At least the distance to get us to a major port that where immigration might not be available was.
and then you would go down the Red Sea, which would be quite a hike down the Red Sea, to the Gulf of Aden, into the Arabian Sea, into the Indian Ocean, to Mombasa. Uh, which I would have to think is very doable, because otherwise they would not have made the Suez Canal. Uh, so, uh, so where? So are you still thinking about splitting up, or has that been? Uh,
I, I think we eliminate that. Just throwing it out if we
Yes, it doesn't sound
wanted to
like
be
any of us
completionist.
really understand what we would be doing at the Bend Pyramid. So
Well, no
let's
no
do
more or
avoid.
less than I've understood what we're doing anywhere else.
Right? I don't understand the purpose, so let's stick together.
let's stick together. All right. So, you did give away your car. It is, I mean, it is a little bit of a trek to get to the Suez Gulf to the Red Sea from Cairo. Um, how would you like to go about procuring some sort of travel? I can, if you have an idea, I will give you a bonus die on the luck, if it makes sense. Um, Otherwise, we'll do luck rolls for if you're able to find some kind of transport.
Purdy is willing to help fishermen fish, but also do what like manual labor, basically.
Well,
So,
but that's like once we get to the coast, right? Where
oh,
the
sorry,
question
I
now
missed.
is how we even get there.
Get to the coast. Got it.
Yeah, because you're on the
Purdy,
you're on the far west side of Cairo. You have to get through the city and then across quite a bit of open country before you reach the coast.
I don't assume there's like a party bus system.
Yes, let's get on a party bus.
Yes, but
do
it's
they
on.
have those? Do they have those bicycles
Ah,
where we all
you
pedal,
beat
but
me
we
to it.
drink in the middle?
I was going to say, but it's one of the bicycle drink in the middle ones. You're going to be pedaling for 4 days. No,
But we'll be hydrated.
yeah, ish. Um, okay. If you guys want, and you're just seeking transportation to the Red Coast, or to the Red Coast, to the Suez Channel.
Well,
Um,
what do we have remaining of the funds that we were sent? Do we have money that we could use to buy another vehicle? Because going with anyone else is another person who could tell someone they'd seen us.
mm,
So buying another car would be ideal to my mind, or buying camels or whatever.
I would say if you would like
And
to do.
you're sure we want to buy them and have that record as well.
What is? Should we steal one?
I mean, we could borrow something for a while, just to get where we're
We're not
going.
coming back.
Oh, I know, but it can be found later and returned.
Right. Well, on the grand scheme of all the things that we've said and done, I suppose that Grand Theft Auto isn't really that big of a deal.
I have so many things I
mean,
want to
just a
say, but
thought.
I'm going to leave it to myself.
Just a thought. I'm not averse to, or maybe we take it and leave the money there, but just not have that record of the exchange.
Ooh, like the Incredible Hulk in the 1970s series where he would steal clothes off the clothesline but leave $3 on the clothesline with a clothespin.
I'm not familiar with that program, but the concept, yes.
Yes, I haven't yet developed time travel to be able to watch 70s television in the 20s. Frankly, the whole idea of television is really, really blowing my mind.
If you would like to steal a car, the mechanic for that would be, first off, a luck check. And if you get a hard, at least 2 hard successes on luck, keys are in the car, no problem. If you get a majority of successes, you find an easy car to at least make off with, but whether or not you can get it started will require some kind of mechanics check.
Well, I just put the idea out there. I wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to check in because I don't want to make criminals of all of us if that's not
We've
desired.
murdered people.
Well, not all of us have.
We've
I don't
all
think
been
you've murdered somebody.
party. We have all been party to murder.
But they've been
We
bad
are
people.
all.
They've been really
Yes,
bad people.
and we'll probably be stealing a bad car.
Oh no, we want to steal a good car from bad people.
I haven't seen a lot of great cars.
Oh, fair enough.
There's one that Purdy broke the stick shift off of. It's a bit messy inside. It also doesn't drive very well because the stick shift's missing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, let's try to avoid that one. Are you all right with stealing a car, Clyde, or would you rather we try to go the...
Is that really a question for me?
Well, it's a question I posed to you. Just checking in, that's all.
We just would like some enthusiastic consent.
That's right.
Granted, I'm pretty sure car theft is going to be the lowest tier on my criminal record at this rate.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, give me, if you guys are going to start looking for a car, give me a luck check. And this will be for the entire walking of the city. At a certain point, maybe you'll, consider a different route, or a different thing. But if I get 2 hard successes, you find an automobile with the keys in it. If you get a majority of luck checks that are successes, you find an easy to walk off with car. Move it in neutral, but starting it will take some work. Go ahead.
Okay.
Roll me some luck. That's 1 failure. 1 regular.
Oh, we're not a lucky group today, are we?
Just need a luck roll from Purdy.
Well, we can't get a majority.
No, but I'll halvesies it. It's fine. Ooh. And that hard
There's our
success
lucky
would
boy.
maybe count it as 2. Okay, so you find a relatively you're walking through one of the more affluent neighborhoods, and you find a car parked outside. It's completely abandoned. There's nobody around. The keys are not in the vehicle, but you have an excellent opportunity to take this car. In order to, I need a mechanical repair, or gosh, I'm trying to think of what else could be used here. I'll look at Clyde's skills to see. Mechanical.
I know people better than machines.
Yeah.
Purdy, that's the alternator. That's not where you start the car.
I mean, I know the front end is the one you run over people with, and the back end,
Yes, that would
you
be.
run over them the second time.
Harmon, that's the back of the car. That's not where the engine is.
I
Are you
want to
sure?
try. I want to try. I want to see if it's like the circulatory system. Oh, No, it's not. Not at all.
That's the coolant. You're getting closer.
This is where the oil goes in.
Well, did you want to show us how it's done?
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Show off.
Oh, I love the odds of this game and how swingy it is. And you get 4 medals.
That is a lot.
So,
I
Clyde
feel
is.
like Clyde.
If you
feel like
remember, I
Clyde-
did work at an auto body shop
That's
for a
right.
few years.
I knew this was
aircraft
coming.
hangar. It's not like I know engines or anything.
Also, he just
assumed-
fabricated a key.
I just assumed you've been lying this whole time.
Oh, he had a
I mean, you
60
lie about the vampire thing all the time.
What do you mean?
Like
I
that
mean, you
gave
keep
us a check.
telling everyone you're a vampire.
Well, he
We
can
all
fix
know you're not
vampire
a
engines
vampire.
too.
Do I? I don't remember that.
I just have this image of Clyde walking around, actually saying like that's the front, that's the back, but he's just inspecting with his hands behind his back, and then everybody just gives up and he walks in and just starts the car. Like,
It's a push to
So
start.
fun-weighted.
it's a push
Yeah.
to start. This one's got a
feel
crank. It's
like-
got the crank in the front, you know.
I feel like Clyde should get a development check because this is technically still Egypt.
Sure, I'll give it.
All right, drive. Let's get out of
Yeah,
here.
you guys,
Oh, that's my specialty.
you have a full tank of gas, a half a pack of cigarettes. It's 200 miles to Port Suez. It's full daylight, and some of you might be wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, with that, you guys make it to. I guess let's just. You were saying, Corey. I think you had mentioned a port city that you said was beautiful and we should all vacation at.
So that's Sharm el Sheikh. I don't know enough history of Egypt to know how. And Sharm wouldn't be a port city, but it would be a place that we could get fishermen to bring us. Like that's the whole idea is basically to live life on boats for the next however months.
Yeah, we're not heading to a port city. We're decidedly intentionally not.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. So
We're trying to smuggle ourselves through fishermen as far as we can.
See, I am not going to be able to keep up with all of the cities. I don't want to get that into like looking at a 1925 map of the coast. So I'm going to say that you're able to. I'm gonna do it like a D&D skill check. If we get half successes on however you guys want to do this, you're able to convince a fisher person to move you down the road a little bit, and we'll have to have 3 of those. Does that make sense? So yeah, like the fishermen are not going to get you all the way down to a port city, but like let's say 2. I don't want to bog this down. So you get to the first city where you're able to find fisher people that are able to move you down. How do you guys want to convince them? I don't want to just do a charm check. I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So like
Purdy would absolutely offer to help, right? And
Okay.
so he's going to go like try to size up a fishing boat that he thinks can go decent distance, and then basically be manual labor on the boat and use his size as his sort of charm.
Well, I've still got some money. Take that, Purdy. Take that with you as well, and see if it'll grease the wheels.
Yeah, we'll use that in case good old fashioned brute force don't work.
All right, so give me a charm check, and we'll do the bonus die based on the fact that you were trying to show off how strong you could be on the boat. Like you're demonstrating your manual labor skills.
Charm with 1 bonus.
Yep. Just need a success.
Well, you got better than that.
Holy crap.
I'm married to his daughter. Damn it. happen again.
Okay.
No.
I need one more success from the group for this skill check, but how else are people helping make this work going down the river? The money was one. I mean, greasing the wheels with the money. You could do a credit check or to see if they care about your cash.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Actually, that's a great question. Is bribing a way you use credit checks? And
you can, yeah, but credit check is also just whether or not you can influence people with how you look. As far as it's not an appearance role, it's do you look like you come from money.
I'm also going to attempt to communicate to them that they can have the car.
Oh, okay.
Can I get a bonus die for that?
Absolutely, you can have a bonus die for that.
Here's his new car.
Yeah.
What?
Look at that!
1, 2,
1, 2,
three.
3.
Car.
I'm actually gonna grab a screen grab of that. How? And I take back everything I said, Corey. The Foundry is effed up on the algorithm.
I don't. Yeah.
That's insane. Okay, so you guys easily move, and I'll say that with those successes, you move most of the way down there. You just need to grease the wheels at this other smaller one, and then I don't know what the port city's going to be that you get to, but I don't know that it necessarily
I'll
matters.
find that out for you. How's that?
Yeah, it would be in Sudan, I guess. So what do you guys want to do for this you're in this other little, now you don't have a car to offer, and it's hard to say whether or not American and European money is going to do much. How do you guys want to grease the wheels this time around?
I can offer my services to help fix some of their equipment or vessels.
Sure. So there's some broken down, it's sailing boats, but there's some mechanical pieces to it, kind of broken, rusted out. Could use some help. Give me a mechanics check, mechanical repair. Oh, yeah, it was not having any tools with you kind of hampered the process, so didn't work out for that one. Man, close though. If you want to spend 15 luck, that's a lot. That's a lot of luck though. Okay. I was hoping you'd roll a 4.
Yeah, I know. And
I was waiting for the 100 to come up.
The 100 would have been interesting too. Yep.
This vessel can go anywhere, and then just starts to sink.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do much to help, but if anyone has any injuries, I could try to patch them up and barter some services.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a medicine, and maybe there's a ailing person who like a low-grade fever kind of thing, where that'll do.
All right.
All right, that's one success.
Hey,
so
Daisy,
they're
what's
a little
success on medicine?
I know, it's amazing. I'm actually kind of getting
You
back
got
into
an
the swing of things.
85 in medicine.
Yes, and I
And
routinely
fail.
fail.
routinely fail. Yeah.
So I don't know what's wrong with me.
Congratulations! I knew you were learning.
I appreciate it, Holman. I really do.
We need one more success. This is actually the do or die. If there's no, it's not, because you need 2 successes. So this could end it, or we go down to the wire.
Oh, if no, I don't want to do that.
Wow, it got dark quickly where Corey is. Like when we started this call, it was light out.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Yeah. It's the right time.
The right time.
So sunset here I think was 6:11 today, so 5:11 your time.
Yeah.
Are there pirates? It's Purdy can bash some heads of pirates.
Oh.
I'm an academic. I really have no useful skills out here.
Sure.
Also, is natural world? Wait, is that a?
That
I have a terrible natural world. Why did I do that?
if you would like to track down some pirates and make
I don't
one.
need to track down pirates. I'm just thinking of like trying to think of what I might be good at.
I can also throw a couple things out. Like if you're looking for like some kind of brawn check there, like they're maybe
Maybe
the same.
going out drinking with them in port towns, and I defend the sailors.
You could
Just
do
bar fights.
you could do a bar. Yeah, let's use that 90
Yeah.
brawl.
97, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, 98. Apologies, 98.
98. That's great.
Yeah.
You are nearly the human paragon of fighting.
I try.
Um. Well, let's make it interesting. Let's see. I think I have a classic, thug NPC sheet. Robbers. Here we go. All right. Um, you take out your new friends who are considering moving you down across international waters into Sudan, and there's a guy who starts picking on your new friend, um, and he says I owe him money for protection.
I'm there.
Uh,
Pull out the brass knuckles.
this guy. You look down and he has brass knuckles on his fingers already, and a blackjack in his hand. Uh, he starts sizing you up. He's not quite as big as you.
Yeah.
Probably about 3/4 your size.
Um. So yeah. Uh.
You gonna punch first, or is he's gonna try to intimidate you?
I'm going to try to intimidate. Like I'm just going to be like size and whatnot. And be like, hey. So this is it's one of the crew, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. This is my amigo. Hands off. He's got all the protection he needs.
He just says, "Amigo," and then he
A
just
BB.
starts yelling out like a whole bunch of uh, words in Arabic that you can definitely pick up. That there are a bunch of people now all turning around staring as this guy he's going to try to intimidate you.
Okay.
Yeah, he does not. So, uh, but he's going to call for some friends, some backup.
Hi.
And your friend is like, leave it alone, leave it alone. But he's also kind of hoping you're going to take him out. You get the feeling like.
So I'm going to make an example out of him so that no one else,
gets hurt.
I mean, no one else. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Start that. Give me a punch.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see how much he can take before he runs away.
Well, he's gonna attempt to dodge that because it's a regular.
Okay.
Okay, so Ty goes to the runner, right? Like I dodged that, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So you punch.
Yeah.
He ducks out of the way. So then he gets to attack, right? Like he gets to swing at you now,
It's his turn. Yeah. Bring it, Habibi.
Oh, he swings and misses. It's like the wild haymaker at you. You don't even have to dodge. Wait, but you. Oh, he's gonna try to dodge. Let's see what happens. No! Takes it full on the face.
You want me to roll?
Um. Well, he has 10 possible hit points, so. Boom!
Sure.
Now that's. He's got a major wound.
Which means he's not dead. He's just unconscious.
Correct. I don't know if it means he's unconscious, but it means he's got something. He's major
You
wound.
broke a bone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I pick him
Knock a
up.
tooth out.
Yeah.
I throw him across,
He
some
looks
fisherman's stalls.
like a rag doll. And then your friend stands up and like points at you, and he says a whole bunch of things in Arabic, and then he says to you, "I told them that you're our protection and that they're supposed to leave us alone from now on."
Yep.
All right. All right, that's 2 successes. You guys move on down into what's the port in Sudan?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry,
I know.
still.
We got into fighting.
Oh, so there's no. It's Keek.
Eek.
A Keek.
That's I thought you said eek. I'm like, that's interesting.
A Keek. There's a. The first letter is not. First letter is not an English sound. It's ein.
Ein. Okay. So you have been like carrying these chests, these steamer chests onto these fishing boats as you've been helping them fish as you go down the coast over the last, I'm going to say it's been 2 weeks of this. I am going to also, over the course of those 2 weeks that you've been going down the coast, skirting down towards the south, that I will draw your attention to, because I think it will help, because this is a very long campaign. We've been playing it for a very long time. I will draw your attention to the New York items in the journal entries. And then the Carlisle expedition, the Elias papers. And letter from Nairobi. And I will show players. You should already have this available to you, but and then summary of Elias's notes. Both of these are somewhat important just to have as memories, refreshing, because you guys, I mean, this was like a year and a half ago that you guys got these clues, so in real time, not in game time. But these may influence what you do in Kenya. So the letter from Nairobi, just so that we don't have dead air here, uh, says, "Big news, there's a possibility that all of the members of the Carlisle expedition died. I have a lead. Though the authorities here deny the cult angle, the natives sing a different tune. You wouldn't believe the stories. Some juicy notes coming your way. This one may make us all rich. Blood and kisses, Jay." Then
Can I ask a somewhat random question?
Yeah.
Is this duration short enough that we didn't get not the development phase, but the I want to work on something new phase?
You have 2 weeks, so if there's something you want to work on, it depends on if you have the access to somebody to help you with it, but also kind of what you're wanting to work on. Like, I don't know. I mean, it would depend on if it was reasonable. Like, if you were working on magic, you would need a wizard with you, and
I would like to work in Arabic.
Oh, okay. Um, I would say that I would be okay with, since we're interstitial right now, if you want to roll a development on Arabic.
What would my Arabic be? What would my base be?
0.5. It's going to be really hard.
What does 05? Sorry, what does
You have to
05?
roll under a 05.
Oh,
Your score would be
just a 5?
5. You'd have to, yeah.
Got it.
It'd
Okay.
be super hard. With a teacher, I'd give you a bonus die.
Got it. Sorry.
Can I don't know any Arabic, but I have learned several languages. Can I somehow assist?
Um, I'll allow it. There's just not enough ways for people to get new skills that I feel like being a dick about stuff like that is just being a
Because I was
jackass.
thinking in exchange, I'm going to ask Purdy to show me some fighting moves.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to roll because I don't remember how to add a skill. Oh, wait, there's a plus button. New skill. Okay. Sorry. Found it. Sorry, this is not something I planned to do.
Oh, no, that's fine.
And I think I can put it under like. Nope, it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a 5. Right, you said?
Yeah.
And then, okay. Wish me luck. Oh, wait, did I get a bonus die?
You did.
What's going on?
Yeah, you just
So I'm just going to roll.
roll 110. Although, I don't think you can make it anyway.
Oh, right. If he has to get under 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't
even
worry.
Yeah.
Yep, don't worry.
All right. And then
Okay.
same for Harmon in reverse, although Harmon, you probably have a fighting skill that you can roll under.
Yeah, I'm just going to have Purdy show me some brawling moves.
So first thing you do, you break their neck.
Oh, he's a
And
good
then they're
teacher.
just they're easy.
Well, roll a d10 and add it to your fighting. Any other?
You got it. I mean, there's no. You're a natural.
That makes sense.
I'm going to take you out to Las Vegas. We're going to have you in the ring there in no time.
Well, it's not nothing, you know. I mean, got you to a 27.
Oh, I would like to continue to work on my occult skills
Yeah.
by trying to contact the lady whose name that I've had tea with. I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head. It's been a while.
Agatha Broadmoor.
Agatha, that's right. Yes, I just want to see if I can, get in touch with her again and see if she's all right. So
Sure.
in the 2 weeks while we're traveling, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Go
And my
ahead and
occult is
make it
a
a cult
10.
check.
So we'll see. Oh man, if the numbers would have been reversed, that would have been great.
Well, no, unfortunately. Yeah, wow. That would have been great if it had reversed. But no, you were not able to make contact.
Oh, I do hope she's all right.
Clyde, anything you wish to do with the 2 weeks at sea?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I can't really think of something too interesting.
Okay, that's fine. Um, if you have a chance to read through the summaries of the notes, it's very long. And actually, this isn't what you have a summary. You actually have all these sets of notes in. So perhaps one of you would have had the idea, and I'm just reminding you because it's been a year and a half, that these are here. So this is all about his experiences in Kenya, and it's several documents, and they get a little disjointed, chaotic, and sometimes a little less sensical as he is starting to slip into a bit of panic and worry about what he's seeing. Uh, but uh, as a reminder, he goes to Nairobi. He meets Roger Corridon, Colonial Undersecretary for Internal Affairs, uh, and he does not believe that any of that is true that he hears from them. Set 2 describes his trip to the massacre site. He notes that the land there is barren and all of the tribes of the region avoid the place. Um, Talking about the Black Wind, which you have heard before. Uh, Set 3 is an interview with Johnstone Kenyatta, who says that the Carlisle murders may have been performed by a cult of the Bloody Tongue. The last time you guys ran into the cult of the Bloody Tongue was New York City. That's the group of people who were working out of the Juju house. Um, he says the cult is based in the mountains. A high priestess is part of the mount, and in the mountain is called the Mountain of the Black Wind. Um, and then everybody there hates that cult. Set 4 follows up on the Kenyatta interview, and he confirms from several good sources that the Bloody Tongue exists, although he finds no first-hand evidence of it. You guys have had some, and so did Elias before he died. Uh, and then he hears about things with great black wings that come down from the mountain, and they carry people off. The cult worships a god unknown to any folklorist he's familiar with. Um, Then he notes Sam Marigo railway station, Neville German, Dr. Starrett, Lieutenant Selkirk, and Colonel Endicott as people that he questioned for all of this information. Set 5 is just one single piece of paper reminding Elias that the Cairo-based portion of the Carlisle itinerary must be examined carefully. He believes that the reason which prompted Carlisle's Kenyan side trip is on the Nile. Uh, Set 6 is a long interview with Lieutenant Mark Selkirk, who was the leader that found the remains of the Carlisle expedition. Selkirk says that the bodies were remarkably undecayed for the length of time in which they lay in the open, almost as if the decay itself wouldn't come near the place. Called it unimaginable and inexplicable. He agrees the Nandis may have had something to do with it, but suspects that charges against the ringleaders were trumped up. Uh, Selkirk confirms that no Caucasians, white people, were found among the dead. Only the corpses of the Kenyan bearers were scattered across the barren plain, despite what was claimed at the inquest. The seventh set is another single sheet, and it says that he ran into a person named quote unquote Nails Nelson at the Victoria Bar in Nairobi. Nelson was a mercenary for the Italians on the Somali Abyssinian border and had escaped into Kenya after double-crossing his employers. Nelson claims to have seen Jack Brady alive in Hong Kong less than 2 years before Elias was in Kenya, and long after the Kenyan court declared that Brady and the rest of the expedition were dead. Brady was friendly, though guarded and taciturn. Nelson didn't press the conversation. This report only strengthens Elias's belief that the principal members of the expedition might still live. Set 8 discusses a possible structure for the book, but is mostly featureless with entries like tell what happened and explain why. So, uh, just as a summary from years ago. So that is stuff that you had received in real game time about 3 months, 4 months ago. Um, so, because now 2 weeks later, we're now into June, perhaps at this time. Uh, as you get on a steamship without any trouble, your trunks and bags are not searched. You're just asked your nationality, what you're traveling, where you're going, and are sent on your merry way towards Mombasa, the chief port of Kenya, for another half-week journey down the African coast. So, I am going to call for a bio break at this point because I kind of need one. Uh, but uh, and then we will pick it up with you guys arriving in Mombasa, unless there's anything you wished to do in that time on the steamship. But we'll be right back uh, after these messages, I guess. All right.
Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world. If investigators fail at their task, the Ancient One awakens and mankind is doomed. Eldritch Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft. In each game, one of the Ancient Ones, a being of unimaginable power, is awakening. Players take on the role of investigators who are attempting to solve mysteries, fight terrifying horrors, and ultimately banish the Ancient One from this world.
Do it.
If investigators fail at their
already
task,
there.
the Ancient...
Hi, everybody. All right, we're back. And they have managed to sort of, convince fisher folk and people on the coast to give them sort of small hops as they got down farther until they reached a less, you know, intrusive. And although intrusive is probably the wrong word because I think Egypt's acting well within their rights here, but just a more lax, I guess, is the way maybe to put it, security port area. And so they're able to find that and board a steamship heading further south towards Kenya, uh, which I am seeing now is, wow, I can't zoom in enough on this map to show where it's at, but the end of the Carlisle expedition is right here in Kenya, just north of Nairobi. But Nairobi is inland, Mombasa is the port. I said I think 2 weeks on the ship again, or no, half a week on the ship. So if there's anything you guys wanted to discuss or do on the ship, otherwise we'll just hand wave that to disembarking.
Well, I think we were talking about trying to get rid of some of
Right, you were going to
body
get rid of.
parts.
Yep, you're going to reduce inventory.
Yeah, and yeah, I think maybe just body parts at this point.
That makes sense.
Is that what we all think? Save the necklace until we're further at sea.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys, I heard leg got thrown overboard during the discussion while we were there. Um, anything else you want to, maybe not carry around that might be more difficult to explain? Um,
I have the necklace, which makes me feel really bad as the only British person in this group, being the one to take the artifact out of the country. But whatever. But I thought about last time we played getting some candles and melting the wax so that I could put the necklace in like the wax or something, so it's not just being carried around.
oh, interesting.
So
Okay. Um,
so we could get at it again later, but like for now it's kind of hidden.
sure. There was no way to do that at sea, but if that's the idea of when you're getting to, uh, into Mombasa, a large enough city, you can definitely find paraffin or any type of
Okay.
wax.
I couldn't remember if we had done that in Cairo or not. Like, because I remember talking about the idea last time, but I don't remember actually carrying anything out. So
No,
I'll wait till we get
I
to
think we
Mombasa.
retconned to right after you gave the car to Van Heuvel, and we restarted from there. And you guys decided
Okay.
speed was of the essence, and uh, took off for the coast. Um, so, so you're carrying with you a leg has been dropped. I think you have a head.
I don't.
Oh, no. I think there were two calves, right? Like, and then a leg, some fingers, and a canoptic jar. Does that sound right?
I think so. I think we had two legs
Yeah, two
because I
legs.
I remember Purdy describing running out with the two legs over his shoulders.
Right.
I wrote 2 legs, 1 necklace, 1 crown, 1 head.
Okay, and then there was a canoptic jar as well.
Right.
So
Yeah, there
I
was
had
a
grabbed
hand, but I
that.
threw it in the leeches,
the hand is gone too. The hand, well,
and
the
then
hand
I
is
then refused to go get it.
that probably saved your life.
Well, no one really suggested that I should go get it,
No.
but I preemptively refused.
Yeah.
And I again, I don't know if I wrote this down, but I had suggested that instead of because Daisy grabbed the jar, but also has the necklace. So instead of having both things, I think I suggested giving the jar to Clyde. I don't
Clyde
know.
has the jar. I wrote it.
Okay,
Okay.
good, good. Just wanted to make sure.
So, all right. So you threw one leg overboard here, like in the basically the Arabian Sea, uh, off the coast. So you disembark in Mombasa. Nobody searches any bags. They ask, like I said, they ask for your how long you're planning to stay, your name, and your nationality. They ask for passports. You show them passports, but no bags are searched. Uh, in fact, and not surprised if there's a rifle, um, because lots of Euros and Americans come here for hunting. And
What names are we going by here?
are you?
Just out of curiosity, did we?
I don't think you procured new passports, did you?
I don't believe so.
No, but we've had several.
So you
So
so you could roll back one or two. You could go back to being Daisy, uh, right? And then Rosie was after. What was the one in between Rosie and
Oh,
Daisy?
I see. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking because I I can't keep track of names as a whole, and yeah. So I just didn't know if we were going by what we were being called in Cairo, or if we're switching back to one of our other names as we're coming in here. I don't have a preference.
So for Mombasa, we could use normal names because, and then we could ask Jackson, or we could ask
Carlton.
Carlton to give us new names.
Yeah.
Before leaving. Okay, let's do that.
All right, so you guys are going by your original names here in Mombasa, and you get off at the port of call, and it's a fairly busy port. It is not Alexandria or Port Said, but it's still a busy port of call, and you are hearing a multitude of languages, even more so than Port Said, Alexandria, definitely more than Cairo. There is very much tones that you're hearing of the Indian subcontinent. You are hearing different African dialects. You are hearing Arabic. You are hearing some English, quite a bit of English being spoken because Kenya, unlike Egypt, is still a British protectorate at this time. And so you hear Dutch accents, you hear Portuguese accents as you're walking through here. Quite very much a colonial hub, un- unfortunately, but that was what it was at this time. Uh, and so that might change. You have some ability with Arabic, etc., but there are other languages being spoken here that perhaps you guys have encountered before, or I don't know, with the World War One experience may have spoken. Um, but you're not hearing Spanish or French in particular here. Um, and so you arrive. What do you wish to do as you disembark? It's
Usually our first thing is to find places to stay. I think the last few times we found two different places, so we have a place to kind of retreat to if we need.
I think that's a good idea. I do think to some degree we're moving less into direct conflict here, potentially.
Well, I'd like to believe
This
that.
is
Yeah.
I think that this location is more of a fact finding and less of a direct conflict. But I have been wrong before.
I can try and find telegraph office and see if we can wire Ramsey that we're here.
okay. It is not difficult, particularly from a port, to find a telegraph office. In fact, before you would even leave the port, you could telegram Ramsey. What would you wish to? What do you wish to send to him?
Open to suggestions. But the basics, this is us. We are currently in port on the British Protectorate of Kenya, planning to advance towards Nairobi to follow up on the last lead. Stops included, da 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 da, etc., etc. And etc. etc. will be whatever someone else wants to add, because I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
Requesting updated um, identification.
Hmm. That way he'll have it ready for us when we want to leave.
Okay. Not a problem sending that. So the the port's a fairly. I mean, this is like I said, it's bustling. Not the most bustling port you've been in, but definitely has the same sort of vibe of any port town that you've been in. There are arrivals, departures, people sad, people happy. It's like an airport, and then lots of commerce also going down, and um, you know lots of retail as well. So there's shops and differing quarters, and so as you enter Mombasa, you recognize that there's a bit of neighborhoods that identify along Indian lines. There are neighborhoods that identify along Portuguese, and then there's definitely a very controlled governmental presence from the British Empire towards the center. Uh, there are several rail lines leading out of Mombasa as well. Some travel farther in south west towards the Congo, and then one traveling west directly, not really directly, but slightly northwest towards Ghana, and then which was not Ghana at the time, and then northwest towards Uganda. Um, but this is also a rail hub, and rail went in heavily throughout Africa in the late 19th century, um, is what I've been told. And so there are several. Uh, I'm, I'm leaning on a game here for my history, so if it's incorrect, uh, my apologies. But there are several busy rail lines coming from Mombasa. Uh, and there are several hotels. You have no trouble finding a place for lodging, either for the whole group or separating into two. Um, well, they do not give me a bunch of places where you might want to stay in Mombasa, so I will go back on my trope of either we can look it up or you guys can name where you're staying. Uh, but
Well,
that,
I don't know how much we even need the details of it.
yeah. How long are you planning to stay in Mombasa?
I think it might be best for us to acquire some information about Nairobi itself, what we're going to be getting ourselves into. Perhaps hit up on some of these important names that was mentioned and Elias's notes. See if we can figure out anything, if they have a library, newspaper here, something to get a further lead. Maybe time has passed enough that something in those areas have came up.
Okay. Um,
Maybe a week.
you want to spend a week in Mombasa?
Probably going to take a bit to find all this possible information.
Well, we can always start there, and if we have to leave early, we have to leave early.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know how long it'll take for us to get the information we need, but
No, I really don't.
Okay. So, um, you guys acquire lodging, at least for the evening, booking it for a week as your plan. Are you all staying together as a group?
I guess
Yes.
so.
Okay. All four of you are staying together, and the I would like everyone to make for me a spot hidden check.
Ed, you need to calm down over there with your major roles.
No
All
kidding.
right. So, uh, Harmon and Daisy, it's sort of odd that they notice on it's like the second day, towards the end of the day, that um, the first time they think, as they recollect, the first time they think they saw this face was where Clyde was making the telegram call to Carlton Ramsey. This man was there and sort of intent and seemed to be just a person there watching, but every once in a while intently watching Clyde. And then you saw him the next morning outside the hotel, but didn't put two and two together. But on the third time that you see him now, as you're walking through the city trying to find, like the library, you see him tailing you, and it's the third time you've seen this man. And man's sort of a stretch. Um, might be 16, might be 15. He's a boy, is what I'm trying to say. Uh, uh, yeah. The very, very thin. Um, uh, not in the malnourished sense, but in the I'm 16 and everything's going towards height, nothing's going towards width, um, sort of eating pattern there, and the just doing an okay job of blending in, although not super great. Like not a spy, but definitely knows how to move in the crowd and not be seen super well. Uh, like I said, looks to be about 16 years old, rather thin, um, and appears to be Indian in heritage, or at least East Asian. Not at least,
Will
East Asian in background.
I will point this person out to Clyde and say, it looks like we have an active admirer.
Already? We've only just got here.
Yep,
Maybe you should just shoot him.
but
Just
he's
kidding.
been following us for some time, and well, maybe you want to not be seen and see if you can't tail him a bit.
Okay, you said tail him a bit, but first I heard kill him a bit. Just a
I
little
heard
bit,
maybe
though.
you should shoot him. Was
I
come up.
was joking. I was joking. But if you want to try to tail him, would it help if we just go, like, if I would go and try to approach him and then you sneak off to try to get hidden? I'd like to see if he would talk to us or if he would try to remain unseen.
Well,
Do we
typically, if you're on a tail, you don't want to just full on confront your pursuer. You want to make it seem like, oh, I
right?
forgot something.
But you
Where?
can tail him. I
Oh,
can confront
I
him.
know, but to make it seem like it's not a ruse. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
Like, sorry, you are. If you're talking to, you are breaking up a lot.
Yeah, that there was some fuzz. I don't know if that was any talking or not. Oh, yeah, that sounds like Ed. You have some interference with your mic. While Ed sorts that out, um, he's not moving currently because you guys have all just stopped to talk, I assume. Or if you're continuing to move, he's tailing at a discreet distance.
Well, I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm just following orders.
And you guys were looking for the library, so
Well, they had suggested that Clyde tail our tailor
right. Okay.
to find out who he might be and what he's up to.
Just
So I don't know if that's still something
see if you can get
that
those
people want
pants
to do.
altered. Yeah.
If you wish, I can dedicate myself to tailing our tailor. I'm not really. I mean, I may bring up the suggestion of doing research, but I find it rather boring.
So the rest of us could go to the library and you could see if you could follow up the person following us as we're leading him to the library. Is that is that the plan?
Do
Sorry,
y'all
I'm
want
not
me?
one to make plans. I really am not. And
Y'all want me to follow Clyde in case he gets in some trouble?
So
if that's what you want to do, I'd be up for that, sure.
so Harmon and Daisy would go to the library to do some research, and then, if I'm hearing this correctly, Clyde would try to tail the person tailing them, and then Purdy would be keeping a discreet eye even farther back on Clyde. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you guys make your way to this library. It's not a huge. I don't. I can look it up, but I don't know anything about the Mombasa Library. Uh, but as you make your way over towards that, I need a stealth check from Clyde and from Purdy. I navigated away from the dice rolling. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. Uh, so you are able to, you guys kind of split off, and then you two split up, and you circle back around, heading towards the library in a discreet, and eventually you pick up the tailor again, just as Harmon and um, Daisy are entering the library. Uh, you see him sort of watch them go in, and then he goes up to a street vendor, orders some food, and takes up a sort of a position against the wall, uh, looking like he's having a little midday snack and feeding the birds kind of thing, but keeping his eye on the library.
And for the sake of this, I'm going to follow him however long it takes.
Okay,
I don't plan on going back to the group until I get
figure out
the
what he's doing.
relevant information I need.
Okay, so he actually stays there for the length of the time that they're in there. He just sort of every once in a while he'll change location, he'll move to another corner, but he's never taking his eye off the front door of the library.
And so what Clyde's thinking at this point is he doesn't think this is like a pickpocket currently, based on the commitment to just us as a target.
Yep.
So he will, knowing that if he's staying there the entire time, Clyde's probably not going to come back tonight immediately.
Okay. What is Purdy doing, being further away from Clyde, as Clyde is taking up a surveilling position?
Purdy probably gets bored.
Okay.
And if there's a bar nearby, Purdy might justify sitting in the bar looking at Clyde, but eventually Purdy probably forgets about Clyde.
Okay. So I'm sure there's a bar somewhere, and you find it, and you're able to observe Clyde. But after a while, um, you run into a couple of interesting people who, are fascinated by, they introduce themselves to you sitting there alone, and I'm gonna say it's a vacationing British couple, um, who and one of whom says what a lot. Um, and then you know, here for the safari there. What? And that kind of thing, and then just calls you chap quite a bit. He's a stereotype. Uh, Big handlebar mustache. Uh, in his mid 50s. I'll come up with a name later. Uh, but that person will attract your attention. Daisy and Harmon, what would you like to do while in the library?
Um, well, I believe that Clive had suggested we see if there's any updates in the newspapers. I don't know how libraries did things back then, but if, like how modern um, libraries keep records of like newspapers. to see if there's any updates on the expedition or the things that have been going on. I honestly, Daisy had no interest in being at the library. She just followed because, you know, so there
Sure.
was someone to follow. So I don't know, and I don't think Ed's back yet. So I don't know what to say, to be
That's
quite
okay. That's
honest.
okay. If you go up to the there's this is not a major um, metropolitan library, um, but there is a librarian, and if you ask for any, let them know what you're looking for. Uh, they say, "Oh, I think you better served finding out information about that event in Nairobi."
At a newspaper's office, right, or somewhere else.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
I know.
We carry old news. We carry old newspaper articles. But uh, that that event was much closer to Nairobi, and we didn't follow it nearly. Uh, the news wasn't coming out of our offices, so I guess is the way to say it. Um, but certainly, if you are interested in finding out about the Carlisle expedition, Nairobi is where you wish to go. They did not, from my memory anyway, they were not here very long. Uh, and
Yeah,
then
I don't know if you
she
guys
does the
wanted
Catholic
anything
crossover
else,
herself.
because honestly, I don't know what I I'm representing the group at the library, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here. So if there's something you want me to be looking up, just tell me, because to try to role play it is going to be
No, sure,
painful for everybody.
sure.
The buzzwords that I wrote were God of the Black Wind, the Mountain of the Black Wind. Those were the two
Right, but
buzzwords I wrote.
that's not a Mombasa thing either, right? So is this like, are
No,
you
but they,
wanting us to
I
just
don't know. It
research
was
it
just
in
if
general?
like the topic of that because
Right.
it's on the same, it's in the same country, so maybe they have something on it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just
I know, I know. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, and
Give
yet
me.
somehow I ended up here.
That's okay. If you just, I mean, something could happen. Give me a library use check.
I would only add the bloody tongue to that, which I don't think you said.
Right. I
yeah.
do have
That,
those written down. I just wasn't sure if we were like broadcasting what we were doing or trying to be like, so anyway, I'll just
Oh,
I'll
I mean,
throw
you could you
caution
could
to the
you could
wind.
card catalog search for those things, I guess, or abstract search.
Yeah, I'm not the library person of
Now,
our group.
how long
So
do you think?
sorry.
And I know you can't speak for Harmon, but how long do you think Harmon
I have
and do you think you'd spend like maybe an hour to two?
I just I don't know if Ed would have like his whole
He might have
character
had a
is much.
better shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I this is not my kind
He
of
wrote
okay.
something.
What?
Because I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're supposed to be researching, and so I didn't want to be messing up. If somebody else had
Ed says
better
yes.
ideas.
No idea why they're at the library. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
all right. So
so
I guess nope. I don't. I
you
have no
guys
clue.
spend some time there, and then you walk out. And once they walk out, so here's I'll ask everybody what they do. You walk out of the library. I'm gonna say you're only there for an hour, long enough for you to do a little bit of searching, see if you find anything um, on any of the search terms that you were looking for without talking to a human. You asked them about the
Yeah,
Carlisle expedition, but then looking up any of those other words that weren't in the United States news anyway, you did that on your own. And nothing came up, and you spent an hour looking, and neither you or Harmon could find anything. Uh, so you walk out of the library, and uh, I assume I guess I don't know. No assumptions. As you walk out the library, you can see the young man is still there as you scan across. He's trying to be really inconspicuous. He's having a cup of like cappuccino at a corner cafe kind of thing. It's not too far from a bar where, as you guys look around, you can see Purdy is talking to a British gentleman in his mid 50s and his wife, who appears to be bored and drinking a high martini, a pie, and you cannot see Clyde.
Well, that's not new. Usually, when Clyde is being sneaky, it's really, really hard to find him. Um,
And I
I'll
saw
go
you
back
just
to the
came off on
hotel.
mute or deafened. Can you hear us? Oh, no.
I'm just going to make my way back to the hotel.
Okay. So, um, make. Eh, let's do an opposed roll. Um, so he's going to roll a stealth. And okay, I got a hard success. So give me a spot hidden check.
Me?
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who?
Robin. Daisy. Rosie. Daisy.
Oh, I wasn't trying to track him or anything. I'm just walking back to the
No, I'm
hotel.
actually just
Okay.
wondering if you see him. Okay, you do not see him. But Clyde, give me a spot hidden as well. Oh no, you lose him.
Yikes.
Uh, so he manages to dodge you too. Purdy,
Yeah.
do you think you notice everybody leaving or not? I'll leave that up to you. Or if you want to roll, you can roll. But if you know,
I'm probably not like based on the conversation. I'm probably like a little bored.
probably this guy's not great.
Although he has developed a theory that this is um, Nyarlathotep in front of him talking
Oh,
to him.
okay.
So like this, and he's just testing that theory occasionally. Being like, what?
Oh, what?
Good job, like talking about tentacles and masks and things like that. Anyway, no. I think,
Oh, a sea game hunter, are you then? Oh, haha, good job there. What?
uh, um, yeah, I think he probably would like. I mean, Purdy can drink, but at the end of the day, he's also not going to abandon Clyde.
Okay,
So if he sees everyone moving, he'll politely excuse himself and promise to check back in with them later this week.
got it. Uh, well, happy to meet you, Mr. Puritan Bottoms. Uh, what? And then they'll go back to just drinking and having their vacation. And you catch up with, well, you don't catch up, but you're able to track Clyde back, and you all end up back at the hotel you're at, and you do not see your tail as you enter the hotel for that night. What do you wish to do?
Well, sorry. I wasn't able to do much at the library. They did suggest if we wanted to find any updates in the newspaper that Nairobi would be a better bet. And when I used the card catalog to try to find some of those culty things, I I I just couldn't find anything. I don't know, just not my strength, I guess.
Ed,
Sorry, I was a bit distracted
you
there.
can roll. You can roll, Ed, if you want. Yeah, go ahead and give a library use roll.
Oh God,
All of your
I was
guys'
counting on
awesome
What
you.
is
rolls were at the
happening?
beginning of the game. They just swung
Yeah,
the other direction. Uh, yeah, you were unable. The Mombasa was not the best place to search, as you were led to believe, and there just doesn't seem to be anything easily found without maybe questioning people. It seems like
yeah,
anything you find on the Carlisle expedition that you look up is just giving the party line that they were killed by their bearers, and everything that you heard while you were back in New York is what the newspaper articles say. But Nothing deeper, nothing more on the Bloody Tongue, nothing further on the Mountain of Black Wind, nothing further on Nyarlathotep. No, unfortunately, nothing was found. So you're back at your hotel. What do you wish to do? You lost your tail, or
Well, they may
you
not have lost us, though.
that may be the issue.
Any clues as you were following him, Clyde? Like, did you see any distinguishing marks, or did he do anything that seemed to suggest his alliances?
No, not really. You maybe young, but you still got some pretty decent skills. And I mean, I lost him for a time as well.
Hmm,
It's very unlike me, but it happens.
I know. I mean, I guess we can't always, be at the top of our game.
But I'm pretty confident he didn't see me, so there is that.
All right. If nothing else, night passes. If there's anything anybody wants to do, always feel free to stop me, but I'll just advance the clock to the next day. What do you wish to do? Do you wish to stay in Mombasa? Do you wish to head in another direction? Like I said, you could travel southwest, slightly northwest, or northwest via rail. Not to, I mean, I don't want to be overly like you can be so vague as to like, oh, you can do whatever you guys want. You can do whatever you want. But if you're going to Nairobi, the best way is via rail heading towards Uganda. Um, unless you want to travel by car, if you find a way to travel by car. But car is less efficient at this time in this era in this place. I don't want to railroad you though, so do what you wish.
I'm fine with heading there now.
Yeah.
Do we want to try, like, I'm not sure who that person was that's following us and how far they're dedicated on following us. Do we want to try to do anything to prevent them from just continuing to follow?
Well, until we know why they're following, we don't really know what harm is in it.
I don't like anybody. I don't like seeing anybody 3 days in a row without knowing who they are. Maybe it's just because of all the people that have been trying to kill us, but I'm a little bit, cautious about that.
You can go talk to him if you want.
Well, that's what I had. Now we don't know where he is. We'd have to find him again.
Well, and at the beginning of this day, you guys can make spot hidden checks again if you'd like, looking for him.
Damn it, there
Oh,
he is.
there he is. Because
Out the window, I can see him.
I'm gonna guess I'm not gonna beat or tie an extreme success, but I'll roll anyway because I've been rolling for this guy. So he has a 50 stealth.
Oh wow, that it doesn't take much to beat, but like I guess that'll do it.
What the is going on? Okay.
Oh,
I
I
need you
guess
to
we can't
calm
find
down.
him.
I'm gonna need me to calm down. I wanted you to find him, but he is not findable that morning, so you don't see him. Uh, but Daisy, with that extreme success, there's just this unease.
Well, she's already paranoid that he's following, so she doesn't have to actually see him to think that she sees him.
All right. Um, it's not difficult to procure train tickets to Uganda if that's what you're choosing to do. Otherwise, where are you guys headed this morning?
I don't know of anything else to do in this city. I am reluctant to go get a train ticket and have this young man follow us into the next place we go, but since none of us can find him and we don't know if he's following us anymore, there's really not much we can do about that. None of the people from Elias's notes are in Mubasa, right? So like if we leave Jack, like none of those names that came up before,
None of them
we're
are
not
indicated.
leaving. Okay.
None of them were
Like, oh
indicated.
damn, we should have done that while we were there. So
No. The only
um
reason, like the Mombasa section here is one page. uh,
I just
to
don't
put it
want
in
to
a.
do the thing
Um,
I did with New York and thinking someone was British when they weren't.
oh
So
no.
I just thought I
Uh,
would ask.
no. I can clarify that there. Mombasa is not an area of where anything has occurred. It's just the only place to get to Kenya via sea,
Right. So really
or
there's
the
nothing
only Kenyan seaport
likely for us to
at
do
this time.
here. Yeah.
So,
All right. Well,
but there is this interesting tail situation that is in this section. So, yeah.
well, yeah, it's a mystery that we're not able to solve. So
Okay. So, are you guys heading to Nairobi?
I don't see any reason to stay.
All right. And are you going via train?
I'd say that's fine. The only thing I'll add, I'm going to procure basic survival equipment, food, such,
Okay. All right.
for going into not a very civilized area.
You are advised by your hotel concierge that it would be wise in Kenya. Just, I mean, the rules about firearms are lax, um, but big game hunters are definitely not unheard of, and it's easier to walk around should you have a hunting permit, and it is easy to procure one. So Clyde might be relieved to find out that he can walk around with an open rifle, according to the rules here, through most of Kenya as long as he is handling it in a safe way and has a hunting permit and a carrying case for it. So,
while he's getting good practical supplies, I'm going to buy as many candles as I can.
okay. You can actually purchase raw paraffin if you'd like, whatever you
All
would
right.
prefer. Yeah.
And
Um,
I'll make my own little candle using the little pot that I bought.
oh, right.
Um,
Nice.
so
All right.
yes.
And you've encased the necklace of Nitocris in 4 inches, 5 inches of wax. And now you have a block of white wax that inside of it is a priceless and extraordinarily dangerous artifact. All right, very cool. Anything else? Do Purdy and Harmon wish to do any shopping while they are in Mombasa?
I think
Nothing out of the ordinary. I'll supply up on stuff for being on site as well for the field.
likewise, I would just do sort of outdoor supplies and jungle supplies.
Got it. All easily obtainable. There's whole markets catering to safari um, uh, vacationers, such as it is. Uh, and so whatever it is you would like to pick up from a store, if there's any weapon or any supply that you might think is going to be of interest, I can't think of anything other than certain firearms that are outside of your easy to procure with your cash flow. Um, but I can drag them on your sheet if you need like a large knife or if you don't have that already. Um, but
Hmm.
um, I am looking to see if I have some here. I don't, because we did this in roll 20. Bummer. Okay, so you enter the train. You can all make, and I'm going to guess because of the nerviness of this young man disappearing on you, that you all might take a last look around before you get on the train. You can all make one more spot hidden check. I guess I'll just roll right now. I got a regular success, and Clyde and Harmon got hard successes. So, as you're sort of waiting for the train, you're at the station on that. Why am I blanking on what it's called? Uh, platform 9 3/4. On the platform. Uh, and it's an outdoor railway train. In fact, I have only seen snippets of Out of Africa, but that took place in Kenya, and so I know there's a big railway station scene in that. And it's an outdoor platform, and it you see the young man is. You just see him out of the corner of your eye glance at you from the inside window, and then he sees you and bolts off. But both Harmon and Clyde catch him out, looking at him from a window, and then disappearing, like running away from the window. You've got about 3 minutes before the train's supposed to arrive.
Well, I'm not likely to catch him.
I've got these pennies in my loafers weighing my feet down.
Most of the group is faster than me.
That's right. Okay. No action. Gonna let him scarper?
I didn't see him.
You didn't see him.
And
No,
I
that's
wouldn't
true.
chase him anyway, so.
Okay. Clyde, anything you want to do with that information?
Unless we want to try and schedule a whole new train, making us. I don't know what we can get out of chasing him down.
Okay.
At this point.
All right.
We couldn't do it 2 days ago. Why do it now?
Got it. All right.
What's done is done.
What's done is done. A couple minutes later, the train arrives. You guys board the train, and you're headed off to the northwest towards Uganda. It is a... One second. Arriving on the Ugandan Railway. Wow, there is so much information in here that I am never going to use. The journey from Mombasa to Nairobi takes 15 to 18 hours. After climbing out of the narrow coastal belt of open forest and dense brush, the investigators see the wide plains of Africa. All of it. Apparently, they're like, you can see all of Africa from Kenya. Alright, anyway. The temperature is still hot, but the air is less humid. Though farms can be spotted, exotic animal life is much in evidence. Elephants, rhinos, giraffes, lions, hyenas, herds of various herbivores, and so on. They are all seen at one time or another from the train. The land is gentle and rolling, broken occasionally by precipitous ravines and canyons. Dry grass spreads everywhere, interrupted by thorn and I cannot pronounce this word, but baobab? I know what it looks like. I know what a baobab tree looks like, but I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. They're really cool looking. To insane investigators, nope, never mind. None of you are insane.
Yet.
The rainy season center on nope, you're not there in April and November. The line climbs steadily. Halfway along, a great snow-capped peak can be seen to the west. Mount Kilimanjaro looms high in the sky, though it is 50 miles distant. As the train winds away to the west or east for a few minutes, glints or more of great white mountains can be seen off to the north. Before them is Nairobi, Beside them lies the Aberdare Forest, and beyond them rests something else that I should not have led into. Okay, so I think I have a map of Kenya. I don't think I have it loaded up yet. So, but as you are getting close, maybe 12 hours into the journey, you begin to hear screams from the cars behind you. And the screaming intensifies as people, and occasionally you hear in English, "Good God, what is that?" And there's sort of, it's dark out at this point, and you see light glinting in the windows to the left and to the right. What do you do?
I look to see what Purdy does.
You are
Purdy
muted,
is
Corey.
muted.
Pretty grabs his brass knuckles and probably a gun.
Okay.
You also have a magic knife.
Oh, I do have a magic knife. So Pretty grabs brass knuckles and magic knife.
Okay.
And then he goes walks towards it.
Okay. The light is on the outside of the cars, on the outside windows. So it's outside of the cars.
So he'd walk towards the screaming.
Screaming towards
himself.
Yeah. As you get up and stand up into the aisleway, you can look indeed there's, and you see on the train cars heading northwest. So I'm gonna just say, for purposes of, I'm gonna need a map. But on one side the light is red, and on the other side the light is blue. And it has the vague flickering sort of consistency of a campfire, but is moving, and it's coming up close, and it's glowing closer towards your car. The screaming is coming from several cars back, but it's picking up as people are looking out the windows and seeing these red and blue lights. If you look out the window, any of you, you can see that these lights are moving quickly, faster than the train car is moving, and are coming up towards your car.
I'll yell out to the crowd. Does anyone know what this is?
Those who speak English in your car are confused. No idea, sir. No idea. What is this? People begin praying, "Saints preserve us," that sort of thing. And I need to create a quick drawing map.
And I just keep striding back towards the cars that are screaming.
All right. Purdy has gotten up and is in the center aisle. And then I'm just going to use... I'm going to use your guys' favorite token. I'm going to use Mahmoud. Alright, and then... Let's see, can I give this guy a color? I've apparently already made him prone, so... Alright, nope. Alright, and then... whatever. Alright, so this one is glowing red. I'll just draw a little red. I don't even, it's too hard to even draw colors in here. Alright, so this guy's red, this guy is blue. And as you see them come in, it just slips in through the walls, and it's burning the passengers as it moves through these passengers and comes into this space here in the front aisle facing you, Purdy. And I think for initiative, we just go. I mean, I just start a combat here. And everybody just click on your token and just hit the go into. Oh, I just did it for. Yeah. And it should just put your.
Click on my token and
click the cross sword and shield. Right click on your token. Yeah. And then in the cross swords thing, hit the die button and it'll put you in the right order. There you go. Just neat Clyde.
Fine. What'd you say it was at?
At the cross, did you right click on your token?
Oh, it's right click.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Cross sword and shield. And then if you go to the cross swords and click roll the 20-sided die, it'll put you in initiative. Okay. So Mahmoud is up above. He gets to go first, but he's not gonna go. And then, well, actually he is. He's gonna come into here. He's just gonna move into this space. All right. So now you have a red and a blue glowing, flaming being in front of you. So, okay. And then the next person up is Clyde.
Clyde's gonna go get his gun.
It's right under your seat, probably.
It's gonna take him a little bit to get it all set, but he's gonna do that.
Okay. You get the rifle out of the rifle case and start taking aim. There are a number of other people in the car also pulling out firearms. So this is not an unarmed car.
I didn't realize we were in America.
Yeah, it's pretty America. Yeah.
And he'll probably say, "What the devil is that?" What?
What?
You might be right.
Purdy, you have I think the blue one right in front of you.
Yeah, Purdy's gonna he's gonna just try to stab him with a magic.
With the magic knife.
Yeah.
Get on the magic knife.
Oops. Maybe we can actually do this.
This is the first time we're seeing the action.
Oh, and there's a sanity check for seeing all of this. Forgot to tell you all. So there are people in this car who are going to fail that check, just statistically. Not you guys, but also the other passengers is what I'm saying. But All right, the Blessed Blade comes out. Regular success. He's going to try to dodge. I don't have his character sheet in here. I'm just pulling this, so I'm going to roll separately. Roll threshold for dodge for this cat is 40. I just learned how to do this, so.
Whoa.
Holy crap, I dodged. So he
Fucking Mahmoud.
it is Mahmoud.
This
Yeah,
fucking guy.
Fucking Mahmoud. Alright, he dodges out of your machete attack.
He's here. He's had to turn into light in order to get ahead of us and snitch us out to the cops.
Daisy, it's your turn.
Did you want us all to do sanity checks right off the bat?
I did. If you guys could all just do the sanity checks, that would help. Okay.
Easy.
I know. Well, it's not going to
It's
get
not.
any better.
I was gonna say it's not.
I mean, that's the thing. You can't raise it very easily, and the lower it goes, the worse it gets. So it's really hard. See, Clyde, you get it.
So
Sure do.
So no loss to Harmon and Purdy. It's a 1d6 for Clyde and Daisy. So here we go.
1 billion sanity's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That, I believe, is a bout of madness about to happen.
Is it?
I think so,
Okay.
because it's 5 in one go.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Bout of madness for you two. I think I have this in here as a table that I built. I sure didn't build that one yet. I can't. This is one of those things that like they can't they can use the SRD version of Call of Cthulhu, but they don't have everything in here, so I have to build it, and if I don't remember to build it. So, Bout of Madness. Call of Cthulhu. I bet you it's on my handy dandy DM screen that I didn't grab.
Well, you have two of them. You could keep one in each place.
Here we go. All right. I need both of you to roll a D100. All right. For Clyde. the the investigator explodes in a spree of violence and destruction. Um, so that's that. You'll have to role play that. And then for Daisy, the investigator erupts in a dramatic or emotional outburst, which includes screaming fits and hysteria. So that's what you'll be doing.
All right. So on my turn, I'm going to duck and cover, which is a little bit ahead of time, but I'm going to do that.
Yep.
And I'll be praying to every god I've ever heard of
Okay.
for my turn.
All right. Fair enough. And that brings us to Harmon.
Right. Is there a drinks cart on this train?
Um, there is, but it's not in this car right here. Well, could be,
Does
because...
anyone around us have drinks?
Sure. I'll say yes.
I'm going to grab a drink and I'm going to throw it at the nearest one. They're
Oh,
fiery. I think it'll help.
okay. You grab, yeah, give me a throw attack.
What I do, man. I throw stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And it turns out that liquid is highly effective against them. So,
Swing away, Purdy.
all right. So touches. Okay. Water costs a vampire 1 hit point per half gallon. Oh well.
It was a big drink.
I'm gonna say though that it gives you the idea that yeah, I'm gonna take 1 point of damage off of it, and then you'll get the idea that you need more liquid than that.
Well, I'm going to throw every drink I got.
Okay. So, like the actual hit points of these guys. So was that at the red one or the blue one?
I think you said the blue one was in front, and I was
It was.
thrown at the front one.
Okay, cool. All right. So, all right, the flame diminishes a little bit as you throw the water at it.
I'm going to yell at the car. Anybody who's up, throw your drinks at them.
Okay. Awesome.
Everybody.
All right, that'll bring us to the red flame. Oh, I had these in the wrong place. This guy's supposed to be here. Okay, so then this guy is gonna move through his brethren and try to engulf Purdy. And he will touch Heat Chuck. So he just needs to touch you. And if he does, you need to make a con save. So his touch attack.
Does it matter that Purdy has flesh ward?
Isn't that only 24 hours?
No, it's until it goes away,
It's
right?
until it's used up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So this will be good.
it definitely
He's got like 36 points or something
yeah
ridiculous because I spent all my power on it,
it
Because
it
and it's a D6 per point.
it a
I think the only
hundred
thing is it magical? I think is the only exception to it, right?
that is
Yeah,
that
flesh
is a
ward
point.
prevents physical damage.
Well, I it says it's flame. I mean, they don't have like damage types like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's talking about whether or not it sets things on fire. I would call that physical damage. So I'm gonna say the flesh ward stands, but the way armor works is it's basically like temporary hit points. Um, so he's gonna try to touch you. Come on, and touch me. So he's got an 85 roll. Ooh. You can try to dodge. You would need a hard success.
There's is there an alternative to dodging?
Fighting back,
Okay,
but
I'll do
I
that.
think you take the damage either way,
Yeah.
right? No, am I wrong, Duh?
It's if you have to be one greater than
Oh, he
his.
has to get an extreme success to stop my attack. That's pretty bad odds.
I mean, for a man with 98,
8. No, it's not. You're right. Yeah, he only needs to get under like what, a 20.
Well, I got 91. So
Yeah. So that
Which is
doesn't.
still a regular success.
uh, so does that mean he doesn't hit though, right? Like
he would not hit.
he would not hit. So you need to make a con saving throw. Regular success. Okay. Um, if target passes a con roll, only half damage is taken. Okay. So you will take 4 points of damage, but that comes off of your
And
armor, your flesh ward armor. Yeah.
got it.
Okay. So that was that guy's go, which actually now brings us to the other guy, Mahmoud, um, who's not really Mahmoud. Um, so this guy had gone through you and gone to here, passed through you, and so then this guy is now going to try to do the same thing, actually. So you can still fight back if he.
So Dawson was right.
Oh.
Flesh ward is 24 hours or until used up. But
Oh.
now, because I've successfully cast it, I can cast it anytime.
Okay.
So
So
I could have recast it and
we'll say
likely would.
I would think you would have on your strongest fighter for sure. So
Yeah.
we'll just retcon that as having happened.
Okay. So I'm going to say I had 30 armor then originally, and now I have 26. Is that fair?
Yes, because he gave you everything last time, and I'm assuming he
Right.
gives you everything this time.
Well, if I give you everything, it's 11d6 of armor.
Oh, okay. Then you roll 11d6. Because we'll have to re-roll it. I mean, not to be pedantic about it, we could just leave the roll.
So 37. So
yeah.
Okay. 33.
Yep. Correct. Okay.
All right.
So then this guy's going to try to do the same thing to you. So he will also attack with his 85, I think is what I said. Excuse me, 85, yep. Ooh, you're not going to be able to fight that back. You can try to dodge and get an extreme success.
Well, you can fight back with a critical success, but it's not like.
Okay. So, con save again. Sorry to be so many rolls here.
Yep.
That's a hard success, so you take half damage. So 5 points of fire damage, and that's their go. So now I think it's Clyde's go, and his firearm is out.
And I did check. There is one thing for temporary insanity that
Yep.
we probably should roll on.
Oh.
The keeper asks for an intelligence roll. If the roll is failed, the
Oh.
investigator has repressed the memory, a trick of the mind used to
That's
protect
right.
itself.
That's right. I did know that. I'm sorry. I should have called for that. So you both get to make an intelligence check.
So if you succeed, that's bad. If you fail, that's good.
Guess what my highest stat is?
Guess what my highest stat is?
Do you want us both to do it now or on
Yeah,
our turn?
just do it now. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, Clyde.
Wow.
I believe everything, and these creatures must die.
Yeah.
Okay, you both are suffering uh, the temporary madness. And so I think, Clyde, you just go crazy cakes with the gun in your hands. So I think I'm supposed to actually dictate
You
a
tell me
little bit
what. You
of
tell me what I do.
Right. So you're going to try to shoot this guy.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Boop. Target. Full. Don't know why it's rolling twice. That's whatever. Boop.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage. 10 points of damage. So it flies actually right through the fire and strikes and kills the woman sitting in the seat right here. So you just blind rage shoot, goes through the fire and kills this person here. They just fall over dead from your shot wound. Um, and the next person here just starts screaming, and now all the guns are pulled out, but nobody's firing because they just realize that you can't shoot the guns through the thing, but somebody else was the object lesson of that. Next is Purdy.
Same thing as before.
Okay. He's gonna try to dodge. His dodge is 40. That's probably not my best choice. I probably should fight back, but that's a value hit. 7 points. Now your arm goes through him, but the blade stops a little bit. Like your hand is moving quickly, but you can feel the drag of the blade, and it's the magic catching him. And you deal the 7 points, and that one is extinguished. You extinguish the flame with the knife in your hand, and you look over and you see this woman slumped over dead. Is it a shotgun or a rifle, Clyde?
It's a rifle.
A rifle, okay, just a single bullet hole. And then that takes us to Daisy, who is in hysteria.
We're lost. We're all lost. We're all gonna die. This is the end of the world.
She is screaming in terror, and I believe you are hiding under a seat, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Crawling under the seat. That brings us to Harmon, who is standing behind her.
Right. Well, I have a thing that works, and I'm going to use it.
Yep.
And I'm going to really try to get everybody in the car to do it too.
All
and
right.
that's to throw all of our drinks at this guy.
Okay.
At this thing.
I am going to have you roll.
Okay.
Once, and then I'm going to have you roll second. And if you get a regular success, 3 people follow you. If you get a hard success, 5 people follow you. And if you get... So first one is just you throwing your water. Okay, so your water doesn't go anywhere. Now let's do the roll for just a throw.
But they're all on board.
They're on board, and we will have 5 people do it. So that's 5 points of damage on this one. He had 6 hit points left, so he is still up, but much diminished. The flame is
Does something happen if
flickering.
he takes 5 out of 6 in one go? I never understand how any of this works.
Don't think for the monsters that has the same effect as it has on player characters. If it were to happen to you, you would have a major wound. But for the monsters that are made out of fire and stuff, it doesn't work the same way. Major wound means you can be incapacitated by the sheer amount of damage. So that's interesting. Okay. So that is, he's still there. He's still up. He is going to try to attack the person who is the most threatening, which is Purdy. And he will. They roll 85. Ooh, hard success. Do you want to dodge or fight back?
Fight back.
Okay. All right.
Well,
he goes through. I need a con check then for how much damage.
ooh.
He'll take, wow, it's the lowest roll I've made. 5 points total of fire damage to your armor, as this magical skin that's over you for that Harmon gave you, it's just depleting, but it's still holding up. You've not taken any damage to your person yet. It's just sort of wicking away. You can hear the screams of Daisy, and Clyde has gone full on beast mode. That brings us to Clyde. You can shoot again if you'd like. You are, well, not if you like. I get to choose. So, Clyde is going to step forward and, without a bayonet, try to bayonet the fire.
The bayonet's in its sheath right now, which is really unfortunate.
All right.
Let's
give it an attack roll. And then roll a con save.
see. Brawl. Just do a brawl check.
Okay. So you actually don't have to make the con check because you straight up missed. If you'd hit, I would have said your hands went into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have had to make a con check against the fire, but you missed, so there is no.
And also because I kept reading it. This lasts for 7 hours.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so you are hyper violent for 7 hours. And Daisy, I guess I need a D10 from you as well for how long you are hysterical. 10 hours.
Yeah, I beat you.
All right, and so that brings us to Purdy. Back to Purdy, the ghost that flew through you.
Yep, going for the same as always.
Okay, that'll hit. He's gonna try to fight back this time. Let's see. It's an 85. And I have to beat it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't beat it, so you win. So that'll do it, because he only had 1 hit point. So as you turn on it, so you are on a train with a hysterical woman under the car seat, and Clyde is walking, and I don't know, you are rampantly violent. It says
Purdy's just gonna sit on them.
Okay. You just grab him and sit on him?
Yeah, the minute Purdy's just gonna smack him around.
Okay. Yeah, the
and
violence,
sit on him until
explosive free and destruction, they harm something or someone. So, After working 10 hours, you come to your senses and you realize that you have done this. So you realize after 10 hours, or 7 hours, Clyde, that you shot an innocent person through the fire monster. But everybody in this car is in shell shock as Purdy has this person wrapped up, has Clyde wrapped up, and Daisy. I mean, this will last. I said you guys were an hour 12, so there's six more hours of train, and then
Sorry, guys. This is going to be an unpleasant ride for all of us.
the whole car is there
I'm
are
having fun because I'm doing the stop hitting yourself, Glad. Stop hitting yourself.
There's another one. I swear there's another one. Oh my God, there's more.
Get your hands off me!
every every
Stop hitting
light
yourself,
that goes
Clyde.
by the train
Right.
probably sets off another panic attack.
Exactly.
The moonlight comes up and sets off
I'm
another.
I'm just going around collecting drinks.
Okay. But the whole car is shell shocked. Everybody, I'm not gonna roll.
Letting
for
everybody know. Throw drinks at them if they come back.
All right, so yeah, Harmon rounds up a whole bunch of like liquids ready to assail any other fire beasts that come. Uh, Meanwhile, like for the remainder of the train trip, Purdy has to sit on Clyde as Clyde just claws forward, ready to punch anything, but Purdy is much larger. And we'll just play that out as that. Whereas there's constant freakouts every time Harmon comes back from a drink run, grabbing more and more water and liquids, ready to douse anything. There's a deeper sink into despair and hysteria from Daisy. Uh, this has just been one bridge too far. Everywhere you go, you've had your steps dogged. Everywhere you go, there's somebody looking.
I told you, he was that boy cast a spell, and it's never going to leave us alone. Yeah, all our paranoia is just freaking out.
Eventually, though, you do reach Nairobi, and I'm not going to get into the literal 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever, because I just don't think that serves the gameplay. By the time the train reaches the station of Nairobi, there's a dead woman the on the train, and everyone, no one. I mean, there was no one can swear who did it.
That was under a seat. I didn't see a thing.
Shots were fired. No one knows who shot the gun, but everybody is convinced they saw some sort of strange light come into the train. And people who did not have these fire beings in their car saw them from behind, saw them flying forward. The authorities are asking everyone who had a firearm in the car to come down to the station for questioning. And there are like all of you. Like the entire car has rifles and sidearms. So it takes the entire night. No one can swear what happened. But when it comes to your turn, what do you say to the inspectors of the British Protectorate? Can you please tell me what happened on the car this evening?
Some crazy lights came through, burning things up. You saw the damage. I don't know what happened.
And there is fire damage, by the way. There is fire damage in the car. Are you certain no one did any arson type activities? No one was playing with fire.
The burn marks indicate a burn from the outside in.
Yes.
Which is what we saw.
How do you have no explanation?
fire entered a car, and it burned some things. I, that's all I know.
Who shot? A woman
I
is
threw
dead.
water, which seemed to help with fire. I didn't throw it at a woman.
It was also hectic. I mean, I don't know if any of us saw who did it, but I know tons of people had their guns out because no one knew what to do with this stuff.
Is this still within the 7 hours of the
No,
incident?
I'm gonna say that you're come
Because
out.
if it is, he would fucking like go off on him and say everything. If it was in the first 7 hours.
You rolled a 7, and Daisy rolled a 10, and I said you were about 4 hours out, and I'm gonna say it's right at the tail end of that, and I'm gonna say you both have a 7 because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do a
I
clock.
don't mind. I
Oh,
can be hysterical through the whole questioning.
okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
I don't mind. I probably wouldn't say anything helpful either way because I was hysterical the whole time.
Okay.
Well, but Clyde would say nothing. But if it's within that 7 hours, he's gonna just berate the authorities, say, "You didn't do shit. I had to take action." Like overly aggressive.
Okay. All right. And because you're not the first people that they've talked to, so they've heard about the red light, the blue light from other people. You're not saying anything they haven't heard from other people. This is totally weird. Like this is maybe the first time that you've actually had something really bizarro happen that you have other witnesses. And so they eventually decide, mm, I don't know, if you berate them, they might detain you for the night.
Well, you
Uh,
said it wasn't within the 7 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
So-
I was gonna say it wasn't within the 7.
Do you want to
So
just do an evens odds? Odds it was, evens is?
sure, let's do that.
Why not? Because this is a game.
This is a game.
Odds it happened within.
Okay, so you begin to violently berate them, and they hold you for questioning. They release the other 3. So the other 3 are free to go. Clyde is in jail your first night in Nairobi. And I think that's actually probably a pretty good place to call it for the night. Plus, it's 10 o'clock pumpkin time on the East Coast. And so, uh, yeah, I think we'll pick up with Clyde in jail, the 3 of you in the streets of Nairobi with Daisy weeping uncontrollably or screaming hysterically. Your choice, however you want, but you're hysterical
Yeah.
still. As you guys attempt to find a place to stay for the night with this situation encroaching.
I'm going up and down this, like, if you guys are walking with me, I'm like doing a prophet. The end is nigh. The
Awesome.
they're coming for all of us. Not. I'll use some of the phrases that I've heard, but it probably doesn't make much sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, and there are people like walking away from you because you've got the crazy eye. You've got the 1,000-yard stare as you're, and you don't know. You
The
don't
things
know
I have
what
seen.
lurks
Right.
in the dark that comes to feast upon the
Ignore
flesh.
me at your peril. Yeah.
All right, and unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we'll pick it up from there next time. Everybody's okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for playing tonight. Went into the darker side of the game tonight, and we will pick it up there in 2 weeks' time. We are playing Warbler Brothers tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Yeah, probably 7, because we have somebody late. And then we have against the Giants next Sunday. But until then, roll some dice, play some games, give time and treasure to causes that are meaningful for you. And we'll see you on the flip. Thanks, everybody.